inside and let the beam rest on that, which we're just trying to figure out if there's a way to conceal that beam within existing roof line, which if you
Thank you.
can't, you can't, but it would certainly, I think, be more empathetic to the front elevation of the home.
Well, from the front, you can't really see it. I mean, we had it, I think we originally had it designed as a gable eyebrow, but we think it'd even look better as a hip, more of a hip for a low profile. And I took pictures from the front today, like walking around the property, you can't even see it from the front.
Is that beam already installed?
Yes.
I wonder if you would want to make a bigger move with that little hip detail, just so, I mean, it looks like a mistake right now, the way that it's just popping out and that.
Well, it's
little
all the
area.
way, it's reasons that's because it's all the way to the outside wall of the kitchen, and that section of the house is just a low profile. I mean, I have a photo of it from where you can't see it even from the front and from the side, how small it is.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, for what I'm inferring the load to be there, 4 1¾ by 12-inch micro lambs or whatever is an awful lot of structure. So I'm not your architect, I'm not your structural engineer, but you may want to reconsider calculating that to see if that's not overcooked.
We had a structural engineer and architect do it. I don't know what else to say about,
Yeah,
Yeah, it's already installed, so.
Mhm.
and it can't, he was adamant, you can't cut off the corner of it. It would compromise the whole
Yeah,
thing.
have to have the full
So then-
bearing at that.
So the only option would be shortening it, I guess, is what you're suggesting, and putting it inside in the house where it's
well,
not going
I'm
to be
saying two
concealed in the
different
wall.
things. One, I don't know that you need that much lumber up there to hold the roof, but I just think there's probably a way to, get around doing this little piece. If that's the position of the architect and the structural guy, then I'm not going to get in your way, but it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. That's all.
Well, the contractor's trying to get online right now, so I don't know if
Okay.
we have any problems, but it's not I wish it wasn't there too.
Yeah.
There's just, it's not a significant
Mhm.
notch in my opinion.
Okay. Well, you say if he's trying to get online, you want to see if he gets.
Well, I
online?
was trying to get online before I came up here, so I don't know if anyone was able to right now.
It,
Okay.
yeah, I mean, to me, it seems really goofy, and from an engineering standpoint, it seems like, but the fact that it's installed, this seems like, I guess it's too late, in some
Unless you
ways.
put a post on the inside and carry it from the inside and then,
Just trying to simplify it.
yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, I mean, did you guys consider that? Just putting a post against the wall, and that way you don't have to even do all that work on the roof?
I'm not sure what you're saying. The
would
podium
just
support
put a-
is inside the wall right now.
It would be
Yeah,
a little
I'm
bump out
saying-
inside.
Be like a pilaster, like a bump out on the wall. Did you consider that?
Where it extends inside the
Yeah.
room.
Just be a little bump out.
No, we were trying to conceal it as much as possible.
Hmm. Yeah, I think
So,
it's so
so I
strange.
didn't understand. So Tracy asked about, making it look a little less like a mistake, making something a little bit more to it. Why would you not want to do that? Why? I didn't hear what you said.
I think it was originally maybe designed in the elevation where it looked like a gable. Are you talking about the cover up of the of the-
Yeah.
The mistake.
Yeah, and we thought it would look better with keeping it low with a hip, more of just a hip profile versus making it larger than it needs to be.
So I guess almost, like making another little, doesn't seem like it'd be that big a deal to just bake in some sort of little hip thing that
We
even
can make it
covered the
bigger.
win- covered the window next to it a little bit or something
Yeah.
so that it just
That's what I
looked a
was
little
thinking,
less
Just make it longer.
like,
I mean, we can make it larger, but you can't even see it from the front now. Making it larger, you'd probably be able to see the notch more.
Yeah.
So.
all I could do is suggest you look at those options, but I'm not going to get in the way of it if that's the decision on the part of the design professionals and you're comfortable with it, so.
Yeah, it's such a minor little thing on the side. It's an anomaly that, doesn't really, it is what it is my opinion.
I mean, to me, it is odd looking, but it's a small oddity. It's
Mhm.
it's not a
Right.
large oddity.
Okay. All right. Any other comments? Then I'm going to ask for a motion for 270 Bridle Road.
I'll make a motion to approve 1270 Bridal as submittal.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye,
Aye.
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 Opposed?
Opposed?
Are you approved? Good to go.
All right, thank you.
Have a good night. Yep. Next, we have 615 Hollywood. Is there anyone present for that? Please come up, introduce yourself.
Hi, Ryan Phipps from Agape Construction.
Welcome.
As far as the grills, it was originally quoted that way and has been added to the permit set since. As far as the second window, the homeowner was really hoping to utilize the space in the closet for storage. And putting one in the shower mere feet away just doesn't make any sense to us. I mean, we at least have one window on the elevation. So can I consider it a recommendation to add a second?
Okay. Before I answer that, I'll let the board members make any other comments. Carol or Tracy?
Yeah, I do feel like that elevation needs something up there and, just even a small window similar to the adjacent one. I don't think that would disrupt that storage on the inside of that fairly large closet too much. And I do appreciate that you added the grills to the window. I think that's nice, but that is too much blank siding up there.
Tracy?
Yeah, I was just gonna clarify the grills, but it sounds like you're adding grills.
Mhm.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, you could do a transom in the closet. That way you still have your hanging and everything.
I mean, we can, is that a requirement or can?
I'm
Uh,
okay without adding that window, and I think the consistency of the grills was my only concern.
All right. Angela?
Yeah, for me, it's a blank wall. So, it'd be nice to have something, two little transoms there would really
blank.
improve the situation.
Or
And
one.
in your closet, it's actually nice to have light in the closet to me. So it won't really bother storing things, it's
Got a nice west elevation, will do wonders for your navy blue coat.
Yeah, I'm kind of in agreement that something on the elevation, would be preferred. I think it's it's a lot of blank wall for me.
Mhm.
But the other option is if, I'm a big fan of windows and closets. I don't know why, some people don't like them, but, a transom like was suggested. And there's been other situations where we've had, projects where, the window wasn't preferred and we've suggested, an outline of the window. There's other ways to add some interest and break up the volume too. So if you want to think about that.
You okay with the window?
Sure.
Speak it
Yeah.
through.
you can
Is does this, like, what's there to be a size requirement? Because we only have so much wall space if the building stuff comes out on that wall. Like, how long would it have to be so we could still get,
Yeah, it looks like something in the width of what you have. That's my thought on the west side. To sort of match that other window width. That's
But
my
it doesn't
thought.
have to be as tall, right?
No, no.
Yeah.
Not as tall, right? But something just to kind of help break it up a bit. And, sometimes, folks talk about privacy or other things, you can get windows with obscure glass or put film on it. So that's not really, shouldn't be an issue. That's not a reason to not put a window. You know,
Putting it in the bathroom.
right. Yeah,
Maximum storage space.
sure.
And you
Well, if
can-
you're concerned about the wall space, you could just do a frame and put a shutter on it and there wouldn't be no window. It'd just look like a window frame and a shutter on the outside, but
And really having if you have a window, you can have your supports for, say, a hanging clothes on the sides of the window and hang clothes there and see the top of the window, see the bottom of the window. You know what I mean? It doesn't really interfere in all storage situations, right? You don't always put stuff against the wall. Nobody puts their hanging clothes so they are leaning on the wall, they're usually a little space. So they work, and lots of people are in old houses here. You end up with a window in the closet just because there is one. It's where
Mhm.
you made your closet because there was no closet, right? So it works out fine. You don't even notice it's there.
so would you be okay with a window or you would prefer not to have a window?
I would prefer not to have a
Okay,
window.
all right, I thought so.
I thought we added, since we did add that one on in the bathroom, that is something that is part of the new addition.
Mhm.
And the fact that this is, side of the house.
Yeah.
Not something will be visible with every person.
Okay. Without the window though, would you be open to just, I don't know, you don't have shutters, you said, right?
We do not have shutters on that side.
Okay,
Looks like from the photographs, it looks like just the bottom level on the front is the only place where there's shutters.
Mhm.
So I guess I will say, you ask, is it a requirement? For me, I will not vote in favor of it without something there. So
Mhm.
just to let you know, when you ask, is it a requirement? Well, it just depends what you mean by that,
It's a requirement
Well, I mean,
from your perspective.
for me to vote in favor. of it.
Something, but it doesn't have to be a window either. I mean, there's
Oh, it doesn't
other,
have to be a-
Two
I guess that-
shutters that are closed position
And
yeah, if
I'm
you don't,
okay,
and some window.
just for the record, I'm okay the way it is. So I'm not gonna
right.
compel you to do anything.
Yeah, Ken's okay with it. I think,
Yeah, I feel like there needs to be something there, whether it's a couple of transom windows or I'm not a huge fan of the false opening with the shutters, but it would be better than it is now. But for me personally, I will not be voting in favor of the way this was submitted. So, something needs to be added there.
yeah. So yeah,
One thing I'd like to add, if you did sort of these false method, would need to be a framed out situation with shutters, because it can't just be some shutters that you could remove after you, get through it. That's right.
right. Something to kind of break it up. So, I mean, that's kind of the situation. So if you're open to one of those two, we could, we could vote with that, or if you're absolutely opposed to doing anything up there, then we just have a motion based on what we have. It's really up to you guys.
Small transom.
Okay, so it would be roughly, and I just want to make sure board members are okay with what, roughly the same width as the adjacent window in the bathroom?
Yeah.
Are we good with that?
Mhm.
Anything else? Okay. With that, do I have a motion? On 615 Hollywood?
I make a
Place.
motion to approve 615 Hollywood Place with the following clarifications. The windows will have the grills added and a small transom window to match the same width as the window in the bathroom will be added to the walk-in closet.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? All right, you guys are approved. Oh, sorry, 4 approved, 1 against, so you're approved with that motion. Have a good night. Thank you. You're welcome. Next
Can we check to see if 403 Oak is online?
is 403 Oak online, please. Raise your hand. 403 Oak. Anyone?
No.
Still not yet. All right, next we have 104 Waverly Place. Anyone here for that? Jenny? All
One time.
right, someone had some questions. Tracy?
Oh yeah, on the east elevation, I think it's a graphic just drawing thing. There's, looks like there's a block wall and then concrete and then siding.
Can you show me the,
Yeah.
so I can see it? Yeah, I didn't bring it.
I think it's
So-
probably just hatch patterns.
Is this really actually the existing split face CMU and we're not adding anything to it?
Okay,
Mm,
here you go.
Oh,
It's like, old, yeah.
Yeah.
And I, excuse me, I don't know if you heard, we were asking down in the work session, the work on the front of the house, the new porch and the doors, has that been removed from the scope for now?
We're gonna return with that when we're ready. We're not quite, we want to get the rest of the stuff underway. So we
Okay.
took that off the scope. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I just wanted to.
Last minute
verify.
change.
Yeah, no, no problem. I get it. And then also on the east and west elevation, it looks like there's windows in the walk-in closet, but I didn't see them on the plan.
The elevations are what they're gonna look like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great. That's a really nice looking project. Yeah. So, okay, those are my questions.
we're good over here.
Mhm.
All right, with that, do I have a motion on 104 Waverly Place?
I'll make a motion to approve 104 Waverly Place with the Waverly Place with the clarification that the work on the front of the house is not in the scope of work for this approval. It'll be submitted at the later date, and that the windows shown in the walk-in closet on the east and west elevations are in the project.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye, opposed? All right, 104 is approved. You're good. You're welcome. All right, next we have 320 South Maple. Good evening.
Catherine Duckworth. I'm an architect. I work with Hercules Design Build. This is David Hercules.
Welcome back and
Same
welcome.
company, obviously. Hi.
Yep.
And actually, our client is online. Do you see her? Kelly?
Oh,
Anybody? 320 South Maple. Oh, raise your hand.
Yeah.
okay, great. All right, well, welcome back. I think, I don't know if you heard our comments downstairs.
I did. Well, yeah.
So the question, I think then was that window in the breezeway. Either leave it the way it is or make it the same size or make it the same size as the ones that are on the front elevation.
I think we can I think we can definitely adjust the width. Looking back, I do feel like it's sort of feeling overly large. I don't disagree with that at all. The sill height is relative to a built-in bench that's right there.
Mhm.
So like just pulling it up and making it oddly tall inside the connector, and that
Mhm.
it just doesn't work for what we're doing.
Right.
And I feel like your suggestion with the head heights all aligned around the 3 sides feels really good, and we're all really liking that. So if I could sort of make it more narrow, similar to the windows on the side elevation, I'm hoping that that'll sort of cure the overly large
Hmm.
proportion.
Yeah, I'd made the comment that if you just made that window the same size as the front elevations and just put it appropriately on the
On-
wall,
And it's.
and it didn't go up as high as the other ones. It's a break and plane. It sets off it.
Okay,
I just think it really calls attention to it by being bigger than the other windows.
Because it's
and
so
such a
big.
small wall. to
right.
boot. So that's my suggestion.
So you feel like it would be
And-
okay if for the head height to vary in that?
I don't
spot?
think the head height of that window has to be tight and in conjunction with what's going on in front of the house, because the floors are different.
They're different.
And
Yeah.
the to do that, to make that window bigger than the ones in the front of the house, I think just, calls attention to itself, that you're better off not calling attention to. That's all.
Sure.
And I think we suggest you do what you drew, or raise the window up. I thought there was a consensus that making the window appropriate in size in front of the building was probably the critical thing to do. And then where you position on the wall would be your business.
I personally like it, the head height aligning with the other head heights. I think, I like the head heights aligning with the other head heights. I think that brings a sense of order to it. I'm okay with making it smaller. I mean, I'm okay with what you drew, but I think it would be an improvement to make it a little bit narrower even, because it is such a small space. But I also want to congratulate you on the nice improvements. Very,
thank you.
very well done.
Thank
So, I like the aligned head heights, and, a little bit smaller window would be fine. But, I'm also good with it the way it's drawn.
And then you've made the comment that if you leave the head height up there and we make it the same size as the front windows, you're concerned that the sill height's too high for the condition. Is that it? So I respect that. It's fine.
Angela?
So I had made the comment that, and, first I want to say, I appreciate the changes that you did. The revisions improved the project. I'm still a little iffy on the side elevation, having the hip and the gable, it just it has this kind of feel for me that it's like a little unbalanced. And sorry, and I was wondering if you would consider putting like a dormer on the front of it to kind of, rebalance it. Keep it from looking quite so much like it goes to one side. Where's the, like the garage, the existing garage already has a dormer, the house has a dormer. I don't know, I was wondering, is that something you would consider? Because that way you don't have to change the rear elevation. I appreciate you.
Coming up the street. I know you can't quite see the whole garage coming up the street, the house next door
I just wonder if that would even be visible,
from the,
from the angles that anyone would actually see the two, the front and the back. The side elevation is blocked largely by the next door neighbor's house.
and it's a significant addition financially to the project.
Yeah.
Um,
There's,
Which is-
there's a cost associated with that dormer, and I'm not sure that's gonna
But I feel like
alleviate
we've added some money in the
the
windows.
concerns being expressed here either, so.
Per the last meeting, and I
Yeah.
just feel like it's punishing.
Right. Yeah, it is, like I said, I do appreciate the revisions. I appreciate you working with us and all that. And as far as that other window goes, I guess maybe a little narrower might be kind of nice for the proportions of the
Yeah.
breezeway, whatever you call
Mhm.
that thing, connector, whatever you call that. It's kind of a small wall.
Yeah.
I like the head heights aligning. I like the transom windows there kind of aligning together.
Mhm.
That sort of, joins it together, you might say, with the other parts of the house. But that isn't that big a deal to me, that's sort of a great big window there. It is a little large maybe for the connector, but I don't know, whichever way you want to go on that one.
That's how I feel the same way. I mean, from the interior of that space, it might be just fantastic to have that huge piece of glass on both sides. So it's whatever you guys feel at the end of the day on that one. In my opinion, so we could, make a motion to, give you the option to adjust the size of that window and it would match on the front and the back.
Sure.
Yeah, they'd match. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's pretty much I don't think there's really anything else. I made a similar comment that Angela made the first time. I thought it's definitely a unique design. You don't see a hip roof on one side and a gable on the other very often, but in this case, I'm okay with it. I think I don't believe there's any additional comments, so we could make a motion at that point.
I'll make a motion to approve 320 South Maple with the understanding that there is an option to make the windows in the connector more narrow and that the windows on the front and the back shall match.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? All right, you guys are approved and good to go.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Have a good evening. All right, and then we have one more. I lost my paper. There it is.
So the meeting now should be.
Oh, yeah, the official meeting is now adjourned. We do have a preliminary review, though, of the Narix Hall edition.
So we tabled, this is tabled.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Weren't you gonna
Oh,
go back and see
we-
if they're online or?
We did go back and check.
Okay, that's fine. I didn't hear that part, so I'm good.
Yeah, so we did table that one.
Sure. So is Michael Browning online? Are you with?
Oh, both places.
I am. Well, I was trying to get onto the meeting actually when you guys were in the basement.
Oh,
It calmed down enough that I decided
okay.
to venture over here.
All right.
Are you for the window project?
No, I'm with Christner for the Nearings
Oh,
Hall
yeah.
Oh.
STEM edition.
That's what I
Yeah.
thought.
That's what I
Welcome.
thought. I thought so too.
We were confused.
Okay.
It's been a bit of a confusing evening.
Yeah, it's been a little disorienting.
Just glad to be alive.
Yeah, right. I'm sorry, what was your name?
I'm Michael Browning with
Michael?
Christner. Yes.
Okay, great. Sorry.
I had a question about the corner that flares up. I guess, could you speak to that a little bit? Like what the,
Why it's doing that? So the form, so that's actually facing the south side. So what we call the quad
Mhm.
or the future quad on the campus. And the intention was to slope the structure. So we have a very simple gutter and downspout. And then we wanted to see that sloped roof because there is a thought to have a PV array that would be placed on the roof in the future. And then the east facing elevation, our intent was to have that be a kind of a rectangularly shaped facade. And that is a kind of we were thinking of that as a kind of a canvas that we would do some textured brick and then also have signage for the school. And that's a really important facade because people that are parking, going to the Hackney Theater will be seeing that very prominently. So, yeah, it was an intent to really consciously shape that east facing facade.
yeah, I was just thinking this is brick and so then you have brick. I just think it would be, I mean, your coping looks like it's pretty minimal and to get that angled brick, I think it would be a tricky detail.
We are,
And the-
yeah. Oh, sorry, go
Well,
ahead.
I just think that I mean, looking at it in elevation, I feel like that could be a bigger move maybe than what it is right now. It looks pretty minimal.
What could be a bigger move?
Just that, the angle, the steepness of that angle maybe could be more dramatic.
As viewed
Perhaps-
from the south side, from the quad
From
side,
the south side, yeah,
kind of emphasize that more.
maybe. Yeah, I mean, I just think that doing that in brick is gonna be a little hard, detail wise, but. I'm sure they'll
So
figure
we
it
will
out.
have to cut some bricks there. We've got
Yeah.
a 3-inch coping that would be aluminum. We had considered limestone coping, but couldn't afford that.
Yeah,
So yes, when we're going up there, there are going to be some bricks that will have to get cut.
mhm. Otherwise, I think it looks great. That's a nice addition.
I would agree. I think it looks great and I don't think you need our help. I think you've nailed it. So congratulations.
Great, thank you.
It's, yeah, it's very contextual and it's got a little bit of, and, you know, something that makes it of this time and makes it unique. So, well done.
Yeah, I agree. I like the textured brick. I feel as though it kind of brings out something that was traditionally done in a sense, but made it very, very modern statement with it. But to, you know, use brick to make a texture on a building is such a common thing to do, but this looks very nice. I like it.
Yeah, and that motif is on the interior as well. So we didn't include any interior renderings in there, but there's kind of a story with the science use, and that's like an abstracted DNA pattern, which shows up in a couple places in the project. So
Nice.
I think it looks great. I really do like that east elevation. No, very striking. It looks wonderful.
thank you.
Good job.
All right. Well, there's our preliminary comments. So.
Great.
Looks like you have an uphill battle in front of you with us.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
That's very helpful.
You guys have a good night.
Adjourning, the meeting is adjourned.